So I want to start with number 1. All right, so you guys told me that you did see the parallel. So let's go ahead and put that in. So CD and FG. What can you count on in a bow tie?
3.
Verticals. Now, how are you going to get your second set? Say, what'd you say? Yeah. Yeah, if you use, let's say DF is the transversal. You're going to end up with a set of alternate interiors right here and here. Do we have another set of alternate interiors you could have used? Yeah, you could have. You could have. Or you could have used both the alternate interiors and not the vertical, but all 3 ways would be correct. So this is a yes, so let's do our similarity. So let's do triangle DCE, similar to triangle FGE. Okay, let's look at 2. See what's popping up again? Yeah, see the little tip? All right, so you've got your parallels here. So do we have at least one congruency right now that we know about? Which one is it? What's the pattern for this one? Angle what? What set of congruent angles do we have right now before we do anything? Angle L, right? The little tip, remember? Now, let's go back to our parallels. Let's put a transversal in. Either of these 2 sides could be a transversal. I'm just going to go ahead and do this one. Do we have another set? What's going to be created by those 2 parallel lines and transversals? What's the relationship of angle M and angle O? They are corresponding. See that? Right there? So, corresponding. If you guys look up here, you notice, can you kind of see how that's happening right here? It's kind of somewhat very, very similar to the shape. Okay. So these parallels gave you corresponding. Let's go back to 1. Your bow tie with parallels gave you the alternate interiors. So I'm going to highlight that for you guys if you at some point in time want to add those to your page. These are patterns that you're going to see for these, okay? So these are really good to use as a reference. Okay, I want you to do 3 through 6 for me. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. What did you find for 3? Were they similar or not? Yes. So if you remember when you have the 2, you can find the 3rd one. So when you did this one, I think you ended up finding that 51. And so then you've got the 90s that are congruent to each other, and then you can use the 51. Okay? So that was yes. Number 4, how about 4? No, right? Because when you use this same method over here, when you added those 2 together, you get a 58. And then when you added those 2 together and subtracted, you actually only got, you get 49. So don't fall into, this is a trap, don't fall into it. Don't assume that if they give you those 2 separate numbers, kind of like right here and on those first examples, don't always assume that you can just transfer it over. Always go through the process. You guys did a good job on that. How about 5? Yes or no on him? No. Right. Because these were not parallel. Therefore, you could not bring in your correspondings. So this was no. Very good. And then your last one. So they did give you P and Z. So you can go with your verticals. So that would be yes. Okay. Questions on those? Very good. When you're working with side, 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 you have to be really careful because they are not giving you a similarity statement, right? So it's up to you to find the corresponding sides, okay? So they're going to take like they're going to take those triangles, they're going to flip them, they're going to rotate them, okay? They're going to make it a little bit harder on you. So you guys have really been working on your spatial reasoning, so that's going to come in handy when you work on these, okay? So if we take a look at 7, for example, what did they do to that little triangle? We know we made him bigger, but what did they do? Did they flip it? Did they rotate it? What did they do? Can you see? What did they do? They rotated it. Because they could have taken the little one and then flipped him up, kind of like a 90-degree counter. Okay, so now if that's the case, which side goes with 9? 14. Which one goes with 27? No, 42. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, and then that would leave the 13.5 with the 21. Not a lot of reducing here. I would just go ahead and just divide them out. Go ahead and divide them out. 9 divided by 14, 27 divided by 42, 13.5 divided by 21. See what you get. Okay, so were they all the same? What was it? Point what? 5. 1.5? 1.5? No. Did you divide the bottom into the top?
Yeah. Yes.
And you got? No, divide the 27 by the 42. Yeah, you should have gotten the 0.64. Be careful, y'all. You always divide the bottom number into the top. Divide the bottom into the top. So this would be a yes. So let's go with triangle KNR. Similar to DES. Oh, I'm bring him down here. What's our strategy for number 8? What's the very, very first thing you're going to do? You get the sides. Extend those sides out. Exactly. Thank you, Christian. So extend them out. Okay. So WY is 21. Thank you. And then W to U is 28. Okay. So let's do our setup. You want to start with little triangle or big triangle? Little? Okay. So let's do 20. 20 corresponds to 28. Okay. Go back to little. 15 corresponds to 21. And go back to little. 40 corresponds to 56. All right. I'm seeing some reducing. 20 and 28 by 4. How about by 4? 20 and 28 by 4, so that'd be 5/7. 15 and 21 by 3. Oh, we got a match. 40 and 56. 8. How about 8? There you go. So, yes. So, let's go with triangle UWY. I did it again. Similar to DWX. Okay, so number 9, were they a yes or a no? Yeah, this one was a no. That did not match up. How about 10? Yes, that one that one worked. How about 11? Yes. And what about 12? No. Great job on that, y'all.